The purpose of this induction program is to provide you with the company information that will enable you to perform your duties and responsibilities safely, and to provide you with information that will enable you to act responsibly and be accountable for your action. JIC Maseve Mine Zero Harm Safety. We place the highest value on being a responsible and caring employer. To achieve this, JIC is committed to provide a workplace where it is possible to work free of injury and illness, and to develop our people to make safe decisions when going about their day-to-day jobs. While the industry in which we operate contain inherent risks, it is possible to control these risks to ensure a safe workplace. There are strict rules about safety that everyone must obey, and the rules are there to protect you and your colleagues working around you. What is the vision of Maseve? To be a profitable all-product supplier of choice, flexible for future market conditions. What is the mission of Maseve? We are a leading ore producer, our people are our key asset, we provide a healthy, safe work environment, and we invest in the communities around us. What are the values of the company? Integrity, compliance, development, trust, and continuous improvement. How can each individual contribute to the process? Through participation, living the values, to strive to achieve our vision, to ask questions, to give your ideas to your representatives, to try to solve your problems yourself, to share information with others, to report unsafe conditions and acts, to listen before you act or talk, to tolerate each other, and to be proud of what you are doing. Why is it so important? For the empowerment of our employees, for developing sound relations and common values, for creating core principles, to redress the imbalances of the past, and to ensure a fair and equitable reward system. Health and hygiene. Why is personal hygiene important? A clean body is a healthy body. What can we do to maintain cleanliness? Shower daily. Wash underground clothes daily. Eat healthy food. Do not abuse alcohol or drugs. Wash bedroom linen regularly. Smoking rules. Smoking is only allowed in designated areas demarcated with smoking signs. What are the duties when discovering a fire? Use the fire extinguisher for the area. Attempt to get water on the fire except if it is electrical. Raise the alarm. Report the following to the nearest official: your name, location of the fire, time of detection and type of fire. Clear the people from the return air site. Do not wait at the scene of the fire. Access control. Who is permitted to enter the shaft area? Only persons employed by the company and authorized to do so. This is how access is controlled. You are issued with a Proximity G4S computer card that has your photo on it. In order to enter the shaft area, you have to hold it against the reader at the gate so that the computer system can open the gate or the turnstile for you. Fingerprints is another method of access control. When does the proximity card give you access? Only when it is your time to start work and your time to knock off. What is the procedure at the lamp room? Clock in with a proximity card. Collect the lamp. Check the lamp by switching it on and off a few times. Sign the register. When can you enter or exit the decline? Only when given permission by the portal and control room operator, and after filling in your details and signing the portal guard control book. Searching. Who is allowed to search you? Persons authorized to do so in writing by the manager. What can happen if unauthorized items are found on you? You can face both disciplinary action and civil charges. Symbolic signs. Why do we use symbolic safety signs? We use them as a method of communicating, informing employees where not to enter and indicating dangerous situations as well as what equipment to use. What are the 4 different symbolic signs? Warning, yellow and black. Prohibitory, red and white. Mandatory, blue and white. Information, emerald green. Waiting places. What is a waiting place? A waiting place is a designated clean, safe area where all workers are to assemble before and after every shift, as well as in the event of specific potentially dangerous circumstances which may arise in the working place. Communication systems. What communication systems do we encounter underground? Two-way radios and verbal instructions. Explosives. What must you do when you find explosives lying around underground? Immediately report to the team leader, miner, shift boss or shift supervisor. How do you identify a refuge chamber? A green flashing light in a decline, an R symbolic sign. It is named and numbered. First aid. Why do we train employees in basic first aid? In the event of an accident in the workplace, a person with these skills can help save a life. What is important when controlling bleeding? Surgical gloves to prevent possibly contracting the HIV virus. How do we take precautions against contracting the HIV virus? Do not have intercourse with anyone other than your spouse. Do not use an injection for any purpose other than that prescribed by your doctor. If practicing sex outside of marriage, use a condom. Hearing conservation. Who should wear ear protectors? Every person working in an area where the noise level exceeds 85 decibel. What are hearing protectors? Earplugs, noise clippers and/or earmuffs. What is the best method of fitting an earplug? Straighten the ear canal by pulling the ear outwards and upwards and insert the earplug into the canal. Hand safety. What must be done to avoid hand injuries? To avoid hand injuries, management and employees must know the dangers of the equipment and the job being performed. Everything from the machinery that is used to the parts produced need to be looked at, and every potential hazard has to be analyzed. Types of the hand injuries: cuts, burns, bruises, electric shock, chemical exposure, amputation. Be aware of the company's personal protective equipment or PPE policy and use gloves and safety equipment provided. Remove all items that can be a danger when working with power tools or equipment and machinery like rings, watches and other jewelry. Use the correct gloves for the exposure. Make sure that the gloves you wear will protect your hands against the equipment that you are using. Never wear gloves near machine gears or other devices in which the gloves might get caught. Never use gloves that are stretched or torn. After completing maintenance, replace all machine guards on equipment. Keep guards in place and use the right equipment when working with table stays in order to keep your fingers away from the saws. Environmental management. We at JIC Mining Services believe that the quality of the air, water and soil must be protected for the continued benefit of all ecosystems. We understand that our operations can have an impact on the environment and are therefore committed to comply with environment legal requirements and other requirements to which we subscribe, to the prevention of pollution from all our operations, and to promote continual improvement in environmental performance. Human rights. What is sexual harassment? It is unwanted conduct of a sexual nature. What different forms of sexual harassment can one get in a workplace? Physical, that's touching, sexual assault and rape. Verbal, that's sex-related comments, jokes, unwelcome whistling. Non-verbal, that's unwelcome gestures, indecent exposure, display of explicit pictures. Indirect harassment, that's to get promotion, increase, etc. in exchange for sexual favors. And sexual favoritism, that's when people are rewarded only if they respond to sexual advances. Absenteeism by employee. When an employee fails to report for duty, he or she should be regarded as being absent without permission, and this must be endorsed on the timesheet. The responsible supervisor, the person who signs the timesheet, should advise the Human Resources Department of such absence. When the affected employee reports back for duty, the responsible supervisor must follow up the absence on the very first day of return and take the following steps. Should the employee produce a sick note as proof of his or her absence, it must be signed by the responsible supervisor and forwarded to the Human Resources Department. If the proof is acceptable to the supervisor, supervisors may question sick notes, the sick note must be attached to the leave form. Should the employee fail to produce any valid proof of his or her absence, the supervisor must initiate disciplinary action against the employee. A complaint form should be sent to the HR officer, after which the disciplinary procedure will be followed. Under no circumstances will employees be remunerated for days that they were absent without permission. Disciplinary procedure due to the nature of the offence: dismissal. Acts of dishonesty, theft, fraud or confiscation of documents, unauthorized possession of company property, accepting or offering a bribe, abuse of attendance procedures, falsification of company records, making false statements, and acts of violence: assault, fighting, intimidation, verbal assault and offensive behavior, dangerous weapons on the site. Employees must comply with the laws of the country, comply with the rules of the company, carry out reasonable and lawful instructions, behave in an orderly and lawful manner, treat other people and their property with respect. What is the procedure for pregnant women? Women must notify the employer in writing that she is pregnant as soon as she finds out. The woman will be examined by a mine-appointed doctor. The woman's job will be risk assessed, and if possible, and if the risk is high, she will be moved to a risk-free environment. SHEQ policy and good housekeeping. What does SHEQ stand for? Safety, health, environmental and quality. JIC Mining Services is totally committed to protect the occupational health and safety of all its employees and any other person who may be affected by the activities at its operations. The JIC Services Health and Safety Vision and Policy provide the foundation to improve health and safety performance and will be guided by the JIC Risk Management Safety System specifications. How do we handle spills? Contain the spill or stop spill from spreading. Wear PPE. Remove excess spillage from the ground. Dig and shovel contaminated soil into red container. Apply fiber or spill sorbs. Report faulty machinery to engineering department. Fill in the incident form. Alcohol testing. At the security gate of each entrance to the mine, all persons entering the area will be tested for alcohol. The test will take place outside the turnstile or gate before such person enters the area. Important: if you suspect that you are under the influence of alcohol, have yourself tested by the security at the main gates. If positive, turn around and go home. Underground safety. Drug policy. All TMM operators, rock drill operators and winch operators will be tested at their yearly medical examination. Random testing may also be taken any time. If found positive, you will lose your operator license. Underground safety. Name the 4 steps to safety. 1. Is this a dangerous situation? 2. Are there tools and equipment that are dangerous? 3. Are the men doing anything dangerous? 4. What am I going to do about it now? Name the 5 general safety rules. 1. Do not take chances. Ask for instructions if you don't know. 2. Report unsafe conditions and practices immediately. 3. Report accidents and incidents immediately. 4. Do not work on moving machinery or make a safety device inoperable. And 5. Report out of the ordinary or suspicious occurrences immediately. Name the 11 steps of barring. 1. Safeguard yourself. Wear PPE. Water down prior to barring to expose bad hanging cracks or slips. 3. Use correct length of pinch bar. Sound test, feel and look. 4. Ensure that the area where you are standing is safe. 5. Ensure that there is a clear escape route if rapid evacuation is required. 6. Ensure that you are standing on solid ground, not to slip. 7. Remove all other persons to a safe area. 8. Always bar in down dip direction. This is to prevent barring rocks on oneself. 9. Bar for 2 meters. Turn around and look for hidden slips. 10. Sound the hanging to ensure it is solid. And 11. If required, use a second pinch bar for extra leverage. When the rock cannot be barred down or permanently supported, the miner must make a decision to blast it down or install permanent support. Name the 8 main hazards in the underground environment. Loose cracks in the hanging or sidewall, substandard support conditions, rocks that could roll down the decline, slippery areas, inadequate escape ways, working in confined areas, working in proximity of moving machinery and equipment, dust, trackless mobile machines, lifting materials and winches. What must you do when traveling in the underground area? When traveling, be aware of TMMs at all times. Take up a safe position where the operator can observe you. Always pass on the safe side, the green light side, so that you are visible to the operator. TMM awareness. Pedestrians. No persons may be transported with any TMM unless authorized in writing by the responsible engineer. Where possible, avoid walking in or on haul roads. No pedestrians are allowed to walk anywhere in the decline. Green zoned areas, only pedestrians. Yellow zoned areas, pedestrians and TMMs. Red zoned areas, only TMMs. Only people permitted in writing to do shaft examination or maintenance work are allowed. When walking in a haul road or decline, move out of the way of any approaching TMM. Always walk on the green light side of a TMM. Do not approach any operation without permission of the driver. Do not stand or move in the blind spot area of TMMs. Do not linger or travel near tipping areas or where rock is tipped. No person may be raised or lowered with a bucket of an LHD or front-end loader. Always wear approved reflective clothing when working or traveling underground. Do not sleep or rest underground or any place on the surface where TMMs may travel. Only use demarcated traveling ways whenever possible. Before traveling through ventilation curtains or brattices, ensure that there is no TMM approaching from the other side. Watch out for flashing orange or red lights. It will be a TMM. Stand clear. Stand clear or move out of the way if you hear a TMM hooter or engine. TMM operator procedure. Ensure that your TMM is in good working condition and that all safety devices are in good working condition. The hooter, the reverse siren, the front lights, the tail lights, the flashing light, the service brake, the park brake and the neutral brake. Before going down the decline, the brakes must be tested on the brake test ramp under supervision of an artisan. Sound the hooter when approaching ventilation curtains, blind spots, crossings and intersections. Sound the hooter and slow down when approaching pedestrians. Obey all road signs and speed restrictions. Only enter the tip area when signaled to do so by the tip attendant. The operator must always travel in a direction facing away from the bucket. Look over the engine. All TMMs must travel on the left-hand side of the excavation. Always park on level ground with the machine turned to the sidewall. Never leave the machine unattended with the engine running. Risk assessment. Before any task is started, a mini risk assessment must be completed and acknowledged by the crew that will be doing the task. Different forms may be used: subcontractors, DSTI form, engineering mini risk assessment book, and mining safe declaration book. Issue base risk assessment to the company before any new workplace is started up, new tools or equipment are brought in, or any change in normal operations. The Big 8: TMM, lockout, lifting, fog, material handling, change management, winches and conveyors. Safe declaration. All persons on the miners team to participate to find hazards and record these hazards for appropriate remedial action and awareness. Operators on teams that do not enter the workplaces with the examination team to observe hazards when they enter and record these in the safe declaration book. The purpose of PTM Safe is to establish a safety culture on Maseve mine where everybody participates daily to look for hazards in the workplace. These hazards are then recorded, and the teams then find ways to minimize these hazards for the safety of every person that enters the mine. The most important thing to know about safety is that if you are not sure how to do the job safely, always stop and ask.